What's the view like?
It's amazing. You can see the whole of Burano from up here.
Sounds fantastic.
Hello and welcome to our favourite anchorage, which is just off Burano. We have left.
Well, we've left Torcello anyway, but we haven't left the country yet. But Burano is absolutely beautiful. We're back on the water. We're at anchor, which is where we like to be. I hope you like the film. Coming up, saying goodbye to Venice, our last week in the beautiful city. A slight accident in the dinghy. Whoops. And the island of Torcello in all its spring glory.
Well, the gondolas are there all covered up, and the gondoliers are allowed to go out now, but there's just no tourists.
Coming.
I'm coming.
No queues for the bell tower. What a pleasure. Our privileged spring break in Venice continues through the canals and a stop for lunch.
Good to be out.
It is. It's lovely. Wonderful salad, wonderful calamari, and sunshine. Sunshine. It's lovely. And people.
People out and about, no tourists though.
It's actually busier than I thought it was going to be, though. I'll be perfectly honest. When we came to St Mark's Square and there was no one there, I thought that's it, we're dead. But
Yeah, it's
no,
hopping here.
it's hopping. Yep, it's good. The next morning it's time to go a bit further afield to get fuel and revisit some of the islands. You have a ridiculously heavy boat.
You have a ridiculously heavy boat, darling.
After casting off, there's the small matter of turning the boat around.
We can leave the fenders out because we're going on that side. I mean, it's posts, so we probably won't need them, but we might as well keep them there.
There are two exits from Torcello Marina, but the one ahead is quite shallow, so for Fair Isle, with a 2-metre draft, the only way out is behind us.
Got quite a bit of manoeuvring to do, not just in here, but for the fuel as well, which is exactly where the ferries go, which I'm not looking forward to.
Our plan is to get fuel from the main dock in Lido. It's not far down the canal, but it's tricky to get into and bang next to the main Vaporetto station, so constant traffic. There's also strong tides and a bit of a breeze and not much space for turning.
There's no room to manoeuvre in there at all, so I really don't want to go in there if there's someone at the dock. We're going to make sure. There's a tiny speedboat there at the moment, so hopefully he'll go and then we can go in.
But while we wait outside the entrance, other boats are nipping in ahead of us. Okay, I think I've seen another one going in as well now.
Yeah, well, all the ferries go in there as well, so I mean it's really busy. It's not a great place to put a fuel dock. But yeah, we're just going to have to go in there and dodge the ferries, I think, and stooge around, and so we don't lose our place.
Or run out of fuel.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a good idea.
That would not. We decide to take our chances. Maybe it's because we hit lunchtime, or maybe it's just luck, but we make it. Fuel is quite expensive here, so we just buy enough for the next few weeks. And it seems we've found the most powerful fuel pump in Italy. Is it really quick?
It is. Well, it's too quick. There's a limit to how fast I can go because I have to put it through the funnel. And actually, even if I didn't do the funnel, if I put it in, it just spits back. So, well, it takes us about half an hour, doesn't it, to fill the whole thing?
It does. About half an hour, I reckon. Time to get some chips.
Yeah.
All done, and we're off. A 6-month stopover has turned into an 8-month COVID lockdown, but at last we're back on the water and sailing, sort of.
This might be a bit over-ambitious. We're going to try and put a sail up.
I think it's a bit ambitious.
No, we're going to get notified.
Put it back in gear then.
Yeah, we're sailing. Sort of.
I think you need to switch off before it finds sailing.
All right.
You forget how slowly we used to sail.
Well, I'll tell you what, when we were motoring then,
Yeah.
2,200 revs, we were doing 4.5 knots rather than 5.5. So quite a lot of, probably mostly on the prop, but on the hull as well. So a little bit of scrubbing for you, darling, with your new suit on, your new wetsuit. Yeah, look, we're sailing. We are.
We are.
Moving. All about half a knot.
Yeah.
Half a knot. Perfect.
We never did get much more than half a knot of sailing, so with the engine back on, we motor through the lagoon to anchor for the night.
This is a tricky anchorage, and we seem to be the only people who ever come here, but it's fantastic, close to the beautiful Burano and away from the deep channel where the Vaporettos go. It looks like there's lots of water, but from overhead you can just about make out the reality, which is, as well as the mud close to shore, the whole of the middle section is also a mud bank, leaving a tiny slither to anchor in. Enough room to come up and set the anchor, but it's the swinging room that's the problem.
Okay, we're nicely settled in the anchorage now. The wind's gone up a bit. It's about 15 knots at the moment, and I'm going to put this on, the Kellet. This is the Ultra Anchor Ring. It's not just a dumbbell, although it's quite good for that. It's 11 kilograms, 24 pounds, this one. It's something that I'll cover in the next anchoring video. Actually, I'm going to do another one this season, so I'll think of bits to put in that. One of the other things I'll be testing is this at the same time as getting the anchor ring. I said in the last video I used to just tie a rolling hitch, but it's quite a faff because it's underneath the bowsprit. So I've got an Ultra Anchor hook, so we'll see how that works and I'll report back, see how well they go.
So the reason for the Kellet is to weight the chain and to limit the swinging circle we have, and hopefully keep us off the mud banks. The Ultra Ring works by passing the gap through the chain, clipping it closed and then sliding it down to the right level. The anchor hook fits on really nice and easily, but the test will be whether it stays there.
So far, so good. I have every faith.
So that's a bit high. It's a bit high, it needs to be back.
A trip through the canals in the dinghy is always a pleasure, and this week it's as if the place is coming back to life. Lunch on the promenade, perfect. Things were going so well until, well, accidents happen. I crashed the dinghy. The canals are quite narrow, I'm a bit rusty when it comes to turning around, and I hit a spike in the wall. To add to our self-inflicted misery, we can't find the TrueKit repair pack on board, so this is not a masterclass on mending a puncture. But the next morning, it looks like the day might be saved. So Steve, how's it going?
Well, good. Look, no bubbles. That's what we want. So yeah, I think hopefully it's going to be successful. We're going to take the pump with us just in case. Well, we're going quite a long way, so you know, just in case it goes down slowly. It doesn't seem to be at all. So yeah, fingers crossed. Let's get it in the water.
Yay, still afloat.
Hasn't sunk yet. Let's go.
Yep. Good. So we're afloat on the water, and for the first time in a long time, it seems, as long as I can remember, we're going for Sunday lunch in our dinghy. It's just fab. We'll get there, won't we?
Well, I hope so. Yeah, there's no bubbles still coming out, so we're okay. We have only got 81% charge on the battery, so actually be quite a good test for this because it's quite a long way. But yeah, every faith in it. I'm even wearing the shirt. They sent us a shirt when they sent the thing, so they deserve it. It's sitting quite nicely. I think the kellet's doing its job. We actually turned with the tide each time, which we've never done before here. We always get stuck on the mud.
So there are strong tides here, aren't there?
Yeah, it's a couple of knots. The last time we came through here, it was in the kayak, which of course was a couple of inches. And it is very shallow, so we've got to row over the middle, over the sandbank.
In fact, it gets even shallower, so someone has to get out and pull.
Manual labour. This is very good.
It's not difficult though. Oops. Hang on, I think you might just come and help me by sitting in the middle. Then a real treat. The island of Torcello.
This is beautiful, isn't it?
Absolutely lovely.
And there was restaurants, as I remember, just around this corner, go under the bridge.
Okay, we'll go there.
And there. Let's have a wander.
It's a nice place.
Look at this place, it's beautiful.
Absolutely glorious. Let's go. Legend has it that this 5th century throne was sat on by Attila the Hun. That's probably untrue, but another legend is that if you sit on the throne, you will return to Torcello. As it turns out, that legend is true. The restaurants are open but fully booked. So we return the next day for lunch.
There are still some boat jobs to do. This is a replacement mainsail halyard going up. But we got a lot done during the sunny May days in Chitosa. Time for the winter bimini to come down. So a bit of a scrub and an afternoon to dry. And then is the puzzle of folding without creasing the windows. I settle for the fold and roll method. A lovely still evening, so the next day is earmarked for varnishing. Perfect, apart from the trees, who thought this was the best time to let go their fluffy seeds.
It really does actually look like it's been snowing. When there's a bit of a wind, it's like a blizzard. At the moment there's no wind at all, but it's pretty, but it has put pay to any thought of varnishing, that's for sure. So it's on with the boat jobs, and the first of those is emptying out the water tanks. I filled the water tanks up before we left and put in a special cleaning product. It's a marine friendly stuff that you can put in if you're leaving the boat. So it's been left in there for 2 weeks. We've sort of run it into the pipes, and I'm now going to run all that out, and I'm going to run it through the bilges just so any sort of dust and hair, we keep our bilges really clean, and there's no oil in there because there's a separate sump under the engine, so anything that ever comes out of the engine is kept in there. So they're pretty clean, but you know, I'll spray around and give me a chance to check the bilge pumps as well. So I do that by putting a hose on the taps and just spraying it around.
And as the bilge fills, the automatic pump should come on. Of course, I've jinxed mine by saying the float switches are notoriously bad in the bilge pump video. You can see the pump is working, but not automatically. Mine has obviously taken offence and has died in less than a year. So that needs replacing. The manual bilge pump also won't prime. This is usually the large rubber, which is exposed and tends to perish. I replaced mine a couple of years ago and it's not that, but there's not much to go wrong, and this time it's the flap valves. A little bit of rubbing down needed and a repaint. Finally, even the engine-driven pump was under capacity, so that needed a new impeller, after the usual boat gymnastics.
So moral of that story is check your bilge pumps, especially if you've had your boat left on its own over lockdown. If you need it, it's got to work.
But on a happier note, 2 lunches out. What were we thinking?
Yeah, that's very unusual.
In 1 week. But it's been absolutely lovely, and it's been lovely saying goodbye to Venice, really, having been here for an extended period of time. Obviously, no one really intended to be in one place, frankly, for as long as we all have. But now we're looking forward to going, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. Yeah, mixed feelings, but yes, it will be great to get to Croatia. We're waiting for a weather window, hopefully midweek, end of the week. We'll be off across the Adriatic into Croatia, and we can spend a bit more time going down. It's a bit of a rush coming up, so we've got to spend 90 days there, whatever, because of Schengen.
Yeah.
We've got to have 90 days out of Schengen before we go into Greece, which is Schengen. So we've got to play that game.
I don't know how many days we've overstayed our Schengen here.
Yeah, let's not talk about that.
No.
But yeah, that's just the way it is. COVID, I think a lot of people in this sort of situation, so yeah.
But it's going to be great. I'm looking forward to it, having the whole summer to be out and about. Things seem to be opening up. I think it will be great.
Yeah, you can see from those pictures of Burano in this time here at the moment, it's all the Italians have just come out because there's no tourists. So you know what a great time to come and see your own country without the tourists. And we're just really privileged to be here at this time. But I think this time next month the tourists will be back. I hope anyway. I mean, they need it here.
The other thing is we've been living here on solar completely now. Woo, we're rocking a little bit.
Fast Italians, they like their fast motorboats out here.
But we've been completely powering ourselves through solar. So all the work you've done over the winter has paid off, hasn't it?
Well, it has. We haven't got the generator. If you've been watching, you'll know that.
Yeah.
And so far, we've been here 4 days. Still 100% on the batteries. I mean, we haven't got a very good house bank, so it's easy to charge, but we are charging the EcoFlow Delta, which you might have seen I did a test on, but also another one. I know, I've got another one. Someone sent me for testing, so I didn't buy another one. But it's great. It's an even bigger version of the EcoFlow Delta, this one, a Bluetti. So I'll do a test video on that as well. But I think these things are great. I mean, they really are you know, a way of storing extra power, and I'm going to look into, actually, someone's now doing a huge version of this, which might actually work in place of your house bank, sort of a bolt-in version. So yeah, we'll see how that works.
Which should be good because our house bank's shot.
Well, we need to replace it next winter, whatever. But yeah, this is something else that's in the mix now, so that's quite good.
So thank you to our patrons, thank you to our subscribers, and thank you for watching. And we'll see you next time from another country.
Yep, thanks for watching.